Okay, so this should get everything going. Let me know it's still coming through fine. So this is a little bit of a different setup, people. I welcome to Sunday Morning Joy with Jay. For those of you first timers, uh, I have a new computer, a little bit of a new setup. So I just want to make sure that it's been set up correctly. The audio is coming through. There's going to be no background music, so I just want to focus on the content. I know some people don't like the background music. There's a little echo. Well, there is a reverb, so that's intentional. Now, is that really getting in the way of the quality? If so, then I need to know that. So, because supposedly, okay, sounds good. Yeah. All right. Hopefully, in the meditation, this actually works in our favor. Yeah. So so it's intentional. And tell me if that gets in the way, then I can try to do it. All good. Okay. Okay. So, folks, in the interest of time and the fact that it's seemingly okay for most of you, why don't we go ahead and kickstart the conversation? So go ahead and drop in where on this beautiful planet you're joining in from, so we may all know and we may share the constellation of stars, how they spread across the planet. Welcome to Sunday Morning Joy with Jay. For the very first time, I also want you to go ahead and type in the number one so that we can see how many people here for the very first time. But if it's your 10th time, 100th time, so be it. Go ahead and type in that number. Tennessee, Hot High Sierra, fantastic. So we have a few first timers here. Nellie, Sue, Doris from Wyoming, welcome. Neville from Atlanta, Nellie from Atlanta, hello. Bulgaria, welcome. CB first time, Florida in the house. Okay, fantastic. We've got a little bit of a spread here. Hundreds of times, says Dahlia. Awesome, very awesome. Okay, so Green Bay, California, Joe. I know you've been here, several times in the past. San Francisco, the closest to me. Mario, hi. Eric from Ohio, welcome. Jen, thank you. So, folks, here's the flow of Sunday Morning Joy with Jay. So, this is a sequence of events that we've been doing since the beginning of the pandemic. We've been gathering here every Sunday. Now I've made it every other Sunday. So, the flow is going to be as follows. There's three parts to this conversation. First, there's going to be breath work. There is going to be some chanting, and then followed by meditation. Now, why the sequence? Because the first two stages, the chanting and the breath work, prepare the brain and the body for a deeper meditation. So people struggle with meditation and people say that, my mind doesn't slow down. And so we've created the system such that it helps to prepare the body, the breath, as we want to go deep into the meditation part, which is the sort of the heart of our matter here. And today's topic is something that people have requested. This is something from by popular demand. It is a topic that I have not spoken about. It's about heartbreak and healing from divorce or a breakup in relationships. So it's a very first time I'm talking on the subject. It's a very niche, I understand, but I'm sure we can all relate to it at some point in our lives. We probably went through it, or we have somebody in our life who is going through this, and then maybe you can recommend this. Another purpose of my recording on YouTube is to do exactly that, to make this available to you when you want to share it with, or you need it at a different time. So, with that said, let's go ahead and find that comfortable posture. So, either you could be doing this practice seated or cross-legged on the floor, or even lying down. Either which way, I want you to find an alignment, a straight line between your head, your neck, and your spine. Let's start by taking some slow, deep, intentional breaths into the belly. Breathing in through the nostrils, down to the bottom of the lungs, and allowing the thoracic regions, the abdomen, to open up using your diaphragm. So let your belly rise and fall as you're taking these deep, comfortable breaths. and exhaling through the mouth. Another long, slow, deep breath in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. One more time. Long, slow, deep breath in and an even longer exhale out. Continue to breathe nice and deep, and as you do so, I want you to notice the sensations in your body. Where is the coolest part of your body? Where do you feel the coolest right now? And where is the warmest part of your body right now? Breath is a powerful anchor to turn your attention from everything that's happening on the outside to bring it within. Now, with this next inhalation, I want you to breathe deep into the base of your spine, so into the region of the sit bone. This is referred to as the Muladhara chakra. Breathe into this region. This is the seat of safety. Give it what it needs, this root chakra. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of lam. Now, breathing into the region known as the sacral chakra, just a couple of finger spaces below your navel. Breathe into this area. This is the seat of satisfaction, referred to as swadhisthana. Breathe into this area, give it what it needs, allow it to expand and soften. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of vam. Now, breathing into the region referred to as the solar plexus, just a couple of finger spaces below where the rib cage ends and the soft tissue begins. Manipura chakra, this is the seat of confidence. Breathe into this area, give it what it needs, allow it to expand. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of ram. Now, breathing into your heart center. This is the Anahata chakra, the seat of the love that you are. Give it what it needs, allow it to expand. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of yum. Now, moving into the throat center, the Vishuddha chakra, breathing into the throat center, which is the seat of your voice. Let your voice be heard. Breathing this area, softening this, giving it what it needs, allowing it to expand. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of hum. Now, breathing into the region of the third eye, couple of finger spaces below where the brain is, behind the eyes, and between the ears. This is the seat of the soul. Breathing into so giving it what it needs, and as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of shum. Now, breathing into the tippy top of the head, the crown, the Sahasrara chakra, the portal to the divine. Breathing, opening this, giving it what it needs. And as you exhale, let's release it with the primordial sound of the universe. Om. Together. Dropping this practice and noticing for yourself, how do you feel different when you walked in here only 10 minutes ago? Now, we segue into the second phase of Sunday Morning Joy with Jay, which is the ancient practice of pranayama. This is the practice of altering breathing to be able to create a deep sense of centeredness, deep state of calm, a relaxed mind, an open heart. In this, we're going to do 3 phases of breathing. This is referred to as Bandha Pranayama. First, we'll do 30 rounds of bow breathing, in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. I do the counting, you just do the breathing. Followed by exhaling and holding with empty lungs for 30 seconds to begin with, 60 seconds second round, followed by a final round of 90 seconds. Then we end up each round with 15 seconds of breathing in and holding it with full air. Each of these will be incrementally longer, as I mentioned, and if you are simply not able to hold, that's okay. Go ahead and let go and catch up with us in the next round. But if you can't do this practice as the instruction is being said, because the value is going to be incredible and you will see it for yourself. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin with 30 rounds of breathing in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. Go with the flow. Let's begin. In with relaxation, out with stress. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold. 30 seconds, you can totally do this. Notice your heartbeat. Can you feel your blood pulsating throughout your body? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold for 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, and a full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for the second round of this Bandha Pranayama practice. Again, let's begin with 30 rounds of bow breathing, in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold 16 seconds. 60 seconds, you can totally do this. Ask yourself this question: what am I grateful for in my life right now? We all have many things to be grateful for. Can I make a list of at least 5 things that I'm grateful for in my life right now? And who am I grateful for in my life? Almost there, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for the third and the final round of this Bandha Pranayama practice. Again, let's go ahead and begin with 30 rounds of bow breathing, in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. Go with the flow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold 30 seconds, 90 seconds. You can totally do this. I want you to feel the sensations in the soles of your feet. Notice the sensations in your ankles, in your shins, calf muscles. Can you feel your knees right now? And into the thighs, And to the biggest muscle mass in your body, your buttocks. Can you feel the point of contact you're making with the seat, the floor, or the bed you're lying down in right now? Going to the small of the back, up the spine, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, and then to your front of your abdomen, to the stomach, to the chest, into your shoulders, the back of the neck, from the back of the head, making your way to the top of the head, and then to your face, the entire face. We're almost there, folks. Now, feeling the sensations in your entire body as one organism. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 15 seconds hold. Final stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let go. Full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for normal breathing. And as you do so, I want you to notice how this practice has changed you. Notice the slower pace of thoughts in your mind, the ease of your breath, and the lightness you may be feeling in your entire body. This is the power of pranayama. Now, with the body prepared, the mind slowed down, and the heart open, let's dive into the heart, where we're going to see our seed today on healing, heart healing, navigating divorce and breakup. I want to begin with a story. In the ancient Vedic traditions, there's a story of a seeker who mourned the breaking of a beautiful clay jar. This jar was filled with clear water, and each night it captured and reflected the full moon. To the seeker, the moon lived inside the jar. It was his source of light and his companion in the dark. And one day, when the jar slipped from his hands and shattered, he wept. He saw the water seep into the dry earth and believed the moon had died. He believed the light was gone forever because the vessel that held it was now in pieces. But then his teacher came to him, took him by the shoulders, and pointed upwards. There in the vast silent sky sat the moon, perfect, silver, and utterly indifferent to breaking of the clay pot. And then the teacher whispered, "The jar was never the source of the light. It was only a temporary home for a reflection. The vessel had changed form, but the moon remained untouched." The irony, dear ones, is that our heartbreak is what we mistake as the vessel for the light. We believe that because the us has shattered and the I is diminished, but your capacity to love Your radiance and your wholeness was never contained within that relationship. They were merely reflected there. The jar is broken, but the moon remains. Now, for the next few minutes, I want to guide you through this great transition that you may be going through that led you to this meditation. So, if you haven't already done so, find that comfortable posture, letting your spine be a pillar for the light to flow through. Let the spine be strong enough to hold you, but flexible enough to lean into the wind. So if you're lying down, let the earth take your entire weight. You have been carrying a heavy story. So for the next 20 minutes or so, let the floor carry you instead. Soften your gaze or downshift your eyes, or let your eyelids softly flutter close. Relax your jaw and begin by acknowledging the sacred mess of this moment. In our spiritual journeys, we often want to bypass the ache and go straight to the lesson. But grace is not a shortcut. It is a way of walking through the fire. Feel the physical sensation of your heart. It may feel heavy or tight, perhaps even strangely hollow. Don't try to fix it. And don't try to heal it just yet. Simply sit with it as you would sit with a friend who is grieving. Dear one, love has not left you. It has simply changed its posture. When a relationship ends, we often feel like a book that has been torn and it's been turned to half. We look for the other chapters to find our meaning. But you are not a chapter in someone else's story. You, dear one, are the library. You are the infinite shelf upon which many stories are written, read, and eventually returned. The pain you feel is not the sound of you breaking. It is the sound of the shell cracking so the wings can finally emerge. I want you to visualize a golden thread. And this thread represents the attachment you have to the form of your past relationship, the habits, the shared dreams, the identity of being a partner. Now, gently with the hands of your soul, begin to gather this thread. You are not cutting it with anger. You are retrieving it with grace. Every bit of energy you gave away, every part of yourself you placed in the other person's hand for safekeeping, call it back now. Not because they are bad, but because you are the rightful owner of your own light. As you pull this thread back into your own chest, feel a sense of warmth returning to your center. You are becoming single in the most spiritual sense of the word. Singular. One. Unified. The silence that follows a breakup is not a vacuum, but it's a fertile soil, a field. It is the shunya, the 0 point from which all creation begins. You are not starting over. You are continuing, but with a heart that's been seasoned by the truth. You now know that you can survive the death of a dream, and the survival is your superpower. Grief, dear one, is just love with no place to go. So now I want you to take that love and turn it inward. Direct it to every cell of your body, to the quiet corners of your mind, and to the version of you that's been so afraid of being alone. Tell that version of you, I am here. I am whole. I am home. Now I want you to let these words vibrate in the space behind your breastbone. You don't have to repeat them aloud. Simply let them sink into the depth of your being. I'm not a fraction seeking a whole. I am the vastness in which all experiences arise and depart. My value is not a variable dependent on another's choice. I am constant, sacred, and unchanging light. I release the form of what was to embrace the essence of what I am becoming. I want to sow a sacred seed in your fertile heart. I want you to carry this question with you and not try to answer it with your mind. And the question is, who is the I that remains after the story of us is gone? Who is the I that remains after the story of us is gone? Now I shall remain silent and soon you'll hear my voice again. Dear one, you are not broken. You are becoming. Now, I want you to gently bring your hands together at your heart in prayer position, Anjani Mudra. Gently tuck your chin towards your heart space in a posture of gratitude for what we've received. And now I invite you to rub your palms together. The palms are an energy vortex, and as you rub your palms, you'll feel a welling up of warmth between your palms. And I want you to take that warmth and cup your eyes, one with each palm, and bless yourself. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky. I'm truly blessed. I'm guided by love. I attract amazing people into my life. I attract wonderful ideas, incredible opportunities. I welcome wealth. I give everywhere I go, even if it's only a smile. My abundance overflows to those around me. I love my life. I am the M in magic. I'm unstoppable. I welcome wealth into my life at the intersection of light and matter. I welcome wealth into my life as life giving life and life sustaining life. I welcome wealth into my life as a manifestation of truth, goodness, and beauty in this world. I am not broken. I am becoming. I thank you for joining me in this practice today. And just at your own pace, I want you to go ahead and drop your arms and ever so gently open your eyes. And as you do so, I want you to summarize how you feel right now in one word. And when you're ready, I invite you to share that one word in the chat so we may all see and know and share the blessing. So I'm seeing peaceful, freeing, renewed, whole, peace, blessed, anew, fullness, peaceful, connected, grateful, gratitude, open, aware, calm, content, hopeful, understanding, and that list goes on. Take a pat on your back, dear ones. You've shown up for yourself. You've made yourself the number one on your priority list, and you've clearly earned the reward of it. When the world tells you there's a million things for you to focus on the outside, you chose to pull your arm back to your chest and said, this is where it starts. This is where it truly matters. And you decided to prioritize yourself. And kudos for that. Remember, I always say this. It always starts with what's in your teacup. It flows from there. So this is the way you fill your teacup, you rejuvenate, you mend your sails, you heal your heart, and then go out and engage with the world. So I invite you to go ahead and make this a daily practice. Don't just wait for Jay to show up every other Sunday. By the way, I do this class every other Sunday, and these recordings are going to be available for you. It's on my YouTube channel. I share that link on my WhatsApp group. Many of you members of my Soul Tribe, my WhatsApp group. If you haven't already joined, I invite you to go check out the Insight Timer link. I'll also share it in my YouTube in the description section. And you can see how to become part of this community. And the reason for the community is really to become a circle. We've been gathering as a circle for the last 6 years regularly, and we help each other to walk ourselves home. And this is, I don't want to be in the middle of the circle. I'm with you on this, on the periphery, on the circumference of the circle, holding hands with each other and guiding each other on those times when we need just that little support, when we want to be seen and heard for what we're truly experiencing. Thank you, those of you who are making the donations. I appreciate that. That'll help towards paying off this new technology that I just told you I purchased. Also, let me stop here and ask for any feedback, because this is a completely new setup I've got. As you saw, that there was, the voice must have been sounding a little different with the reverb. The camera is different. Those of you who've been joining my sessions for years and years, I want to hear whether this is better, this is different, this is... I missed the music in the background, says Venny. Okay, so sound is clearer, so that's good. Venny says it's amazing. So I want to hear from some of my regulars who've been to over 100 sessions. I think this is some 300 and something session that I've done. Thank you for this unique practice today. Kelly, yes. You know, today I went on a limb a little bit because this is a topic that people have requested, that I've been just sort of saying that this is a topic for a minority. I guess we've all been through it, but I don't know if necessarily it's relevant for every day. But I wanted to talk about this because this is an artifact. This is a resource that needs to be available, because each one of us, and it doesn't have to be a relationship necessarily, it could be a job loss, it could be a relationship with anything, with community, with a neighbor who's fallen, there's a fall away with people. So I thought this is an asset that should be there available for the world to be able to review and listen and guide them and heal them when they need it the most. So that, thank you for acknowledging that this topic was relevant. So not to be here to breathing when, oh yeah, so the breathing exercises will not, yes, many of you probably use my breath as the count for your breathing. And so yes, that is intentionally, so there is noise cancellation. So the thuds and those things, the unnecessary breathing that when I'm not doing the breath work is filtered out. So you will be needing to guide your own count. And so you can depend. I know some of you are used to this. The breath work wasn't as rhythmic as it is usually. Several breaths were missed in the mic. Yeah, so that's interesting. So today I started with breathing through the mouth. Thank you for bringing this up. And I wanted to almost force the microphone to pick up, even though I said in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils, go with the flow. I was breathing through the mouth just so that you could hear something, because I was doing some testing last week and I could see that the breath work is completely silenced. So I wonder if you can just count on your own, if that will be. And I know for some of the new people, you probably don't care because this is first time for you. But some of the older ones are probably saying, "Hey, this is different." Okay, so Malcolm says the reverb couldn't process the bandha breath. So which part, Malcolm? Be specific. So obviously, my words were being broadcast. I was hoping. I don't know because you're the ones who are listening to it. But the breathing part is probably not. So like I said, you have to do your own counting. So Alberto says, sounds amazing, very clear. I do miss the beautiful and calming ambient music. Okay, so I'm hearing a few people with music. I don't want to miss these things. I want to read the rest of the comments, and then I want to take a quick vote. I want you guys to, when I tell you it's ready, so we'll type in a particular number for those of you who say that we want the music, and then those of you type in a different number who don't want the music. And it's interesting because some people don't come to my sessions because they've told me that, Jay, what you're speaking and all that is great, but we really get turned off by that background music. So I guess I'm talking to my choir here. Anyway, let's go through the rest of the questions. So Kelly, it's beautiful, the new IT feature about noise cancellation. Okay, I watched your chest for the rhythm. Oh, that's sweet, Noel. That's a sweet, transposing of the guidance. Jacqueline says, I much prefer the old sound system in music. The sound now is rather irritating for me, and it sounds like you are in a tunnel. Oh, this is a lot of money that's been spent. How many people agree with Jacqueline that this is actually worse off than before? Thumbs up, thumbs down, so that way I can see. It was difficult to pace the breathing to do 30 breaths. Okay. Very good session. I was concerned it would not be pertinent to me, but I found it very valuable for today's experience. Okay. The in and out breathing was hard to hear. I like the music, love the music. No music, I can center better. Okay. So look already. I agree. So thumbs up says Malcolm. Eric says thumbs down. So again, I can't stand the music, says Val. So look, we've already got people all over the board. I like the no music. Oh dear, with the time changing, I thought the session would start in 10 minutes. Yeah, so Utah, so yes, I know there's time change in America. It's probably caught you guys off guard, but like I said, this is all recorded. I know, Utah, you're part of my WhatsApp group, my Soul Tribe, so you will see the recording I think in a day or so. So you should be able to listen to it. Love the music. I like the music. Okay, so music at the beginning is welcoming, and then no music for the breathing and the meditation. Look, all over the board. I did not miss the music. That's interesting. You're reading the comments too quickly. I was saying that, Kelly, that the IT feature is a noise cancellation feature that impacts your sound. Okay, so I did not miss the music. Okay, so I like today's sound. Now that I know about the pacing of the breath, I can self-manage in the future. All right, folks. So this is really, all over the board. Okay, so I like the music back. I'm grateful that you do it. I adjusted to what I was sweet there, and I appreciate your being flexible. The music makes no difference to me, but off topic, I think the longer beard and the mustache in your profile photo looks good on you. Okay, now we're going into changing all kinds of things. Okay. You know what? I should have these things like these emoticons, right? So where you can actually create a beard, you can put glasses. You see those things, those cartoon kind of characters that show up on your iPhone. So we should be able to do some days with beard and some days with beard. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. Good. So I think this seemingly it worked out for the most part. Diversity appears to be prevalent. Yes, it indeed is. Okay, so with that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you go back to your Sunday. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for being here, for being part of this consistent Soul Tribe for the last 6 years. Like I said, I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks. I have announced the session topics for my next, I think, 3 or 4 weekends. And so you can go ahead and check it out, go ahead and subscribe, so that way you can get notified. And until I see you all again, I wish you all go shine your light, go be the love that you are, go radiate your opulence, and until I see you next time, be well. Thank you, Alberto. I appreciate that, my friend. And all of you can continue sharing your comments in my WhatsApp groups, but I'm going to end the session officially now. Thank you.